Signalborn. Chapter 7, Resonance. Riley Mercer had a growing concern. Actually, several growing concerns. Concern number 1, a man had climbed out of a monitor. Concern number 2, Nova apparently knew him. Concern number 3, her haunted phone had just informed her that she and creepy monitor man shared something called white signal resonance. Concern number 4, she was beginning to run out of emotional space for additional concerns. Elias stood in the center of the machine room while broken glass glittered around his boots. Monitor light reflected off the floor in fractured blue and violet streaks, and strange signal devices lay scattered where the shockwave had thrown them. He wasn't doing anything threatening, which somehow felt threatening. Nova stood between him and Riley without moving an inch. Riley appreciated that, because Riley herself was currently considering hiding inside a cabinet. Possibly forever. Elias looked almost relaxed. One hand rested inside the pocket of his dark coat while the other hung at his side. Under normal circumstances, he would have looked ordinary. That was the problem. Everything about him looked normal until Riley stared too long. Then reality started disagreeing. His outline shifted when she wasn't focusing directly on it. The shadows around him moved wrong. And every few seconds Riley thought she saw thin white lines beneath his skin. Not blue. White. Just like hers. Elias looked toward Riley and smiled. "You know," he said quietly, "I've spent a very long time looking for you." Riley immediately pointed. "No." Elias blinked. "No. No." She crossed her arms. "You don't get to say sentences like that." Silence. Elias tilted his head slightly. "I don't." "No." Riley pointed harder. "You climbed out of a monitor and introduced yourself like a horror movie with social skills." Elias stared. Nova stared. Riley looked between them. And what? To Riley's surprise, the corner of Elias' mouth twitched. Not a fake smile. Not creepy. Actual amusement. "You are very different than I expected." Riley narrowed her eyes. "People keep saying that, and I don't appreciate it." Nova didn't look away from Elias. "Stop talking to her." Elias sighed dramatically. "Oh, Nova," still unpleasant. Nova's expression hardened. "I said stop." For the first time, Elias actually looked at Nova. Really looked at her. Something shifted in his face. The smile disappeared slightly. Not completely. Just enough. "You look tired." Silence. Nova's jaw tightened. Riley looked between them slowly. Because something had changed. Before this, Nova had looked scared. Now she looked angry. Not annoyed. Not irritated. Angry. And Riley suddenly got the feeling she had walked into the middle of a conversation that started long before she existed. Elias looked around the room. Interesting place. No one answered. He glanced toward the cabinets lining the walls. Still operational. Still silence. Riley frowned. "You know this place too." Nova closed her eyes briefly. Riley immediately noticed. "And Nova." "Nothing." "And Nova." No answer. "And Nova." Nova inhaled slowly. "Oh, yes." Riley stared. "You know him." "Oh, yes." "You know this place." "Oh, yes." "You know what's happening." Silence. Nova looked away. Riley blinked. "And Nova." No answer. "And Nova." Still nothing. "And Nova." "What?" Riley stared at her. "What exactly have you been planning to tell me?" Silence. Real silence. Nova looked guilty. Actually guilty. Riley felt something cold settle in her stomach. Because she'd known Nova was hiding things. Obviously. Secret underground magical system girl practically screamed hiding things. But knowing and seeing were different. Elias watched quietly. The jerk was enjoying this. Riley could tell. Nova looked down briefly. Then back up. I was going to tell you. Riley stared. When? Later. Riley stared harder. When is later? Nova didn't answer. Riley laughed once. Not because anything was funny. Because sometimes people laughed when reality punched them in the face. Wow. Nova stepped toward her. Riley. No. Riley backed away. No, hold on. Nova stopped. Riley pointed around the room. I got chased by nightmare creatures. Pointed at Elias. Monitor man walked out of a screen. Pointed at herself. My body apparently broke reality. Pointed back at Nova. And now you're telling me you've known things this entire time. Nova didn't say anything. Riley stared. Seriously. Silence. Then Elias spoke softly. She was trying to protect you. Nova snapped toward him. Don't. He raised his hand slightly. I'm not wrong. Riley looked between them. Then frowned. Stop doing that. Neither answered. Stop acting like I missed 10 seasons of a show. Silence. Then her phone vibrated. Everyone froze. Riley slowly looked down. The screen displayed. White signal resonance active. Then. Signal drift increasing. Then. Warning. Emotional instability detected. Riley stared. Excuse me. Elias smiled immediately. Nova looked horrified. Oh no. Riley looked up. What does that mean? Nobody answered. Riley looked around. Why does everyone keep doing that? The room lights flickered. Once. Twice. 3 times. The cabinets rattled. Small devices, scattered across the floor, began glowing. One of the black cubes unfolded tiny legs and sprinted beneath a table. The floating glasses spun wildly in circles. Riley stared. Nova looked directly at her. Riley. Yeah. Calm down. Riley blinked. What? The floor vibrated. More lights flashed. A crack formed across one wall. Riley stared. And what? Nova stepped forward carefully. Your signal. Am I what? It's reacting. Elias looked fascinated. Actually fascinated. Oh wow. Riley looked at him. Do not wow me right now. He ignored her. White lines had started appearing beneath Riley's skin. Tiny threads crawling across her hands. Up her arms. Moving toward her chest. Riley stared. Then looked up slowly. And Nova. Nova looked worried. Very worried. Yeah. I think I'm glowing. Silence. Then the entire machine room shook. Hard. Dust exploded from the ceiling. A deep sound rolled through the room. Not an explosion. Not an impact. A heartbeat. One massive heartbeat. Everyone froze. Another came. Thump. Then another. Thump. Thump. Elias slowly stopped smiling. Riley noticed immediately. Because this was the first time she'd seen him stop smiling. He looked toward the floor. Nova looked toward the floor. Riley looked toward the floor. Very slowly. White lines spread beneath the concrete again. The same lines from before. Only this time, they weren't moving toward Riley. They were moving away. Like something underneath was waking up. Elias whispered. That's impossible. Riley slowly turned. You are not allowed to say impossible anymore. Nobody laughed. Nobody even blinked. Then the floor split open. Silence filled the room. Because something began rising out of the darkness. Not a monster. Not exactly. A hand. Human. Pale. Covered in glowing white threads. Then another hand. Then shoulders. Then a face. Riley stopped breathing. Because staring back at her was herself.